Yes, good morning and welcome to another fantastic edition of Plus Sport. We know it's the World Cup here, and in a few days the World Cup is starting. And don't forget Plus Sport to be giving you updates and development in the world of sport. But right at home, we know it's also a few weeks to the World Sport Festival. For us here, it's mostly about athletics. So today we'll be looking at 3 trending topics in the world of athletics. And we're talking to a sport administrator, an athletic administrator, someone who has held so many positions in athletics in Africa and the world. Talking about SY Pepple. Good morning, sir. It's good to have you.
Very good morning to you, Plus Sports.
Thank you very much. Let's go to what have been trending for the past few weeks. We had Nigerian athletes are facing 10-year jail term for wire fraud, which we all know as Yahoo Yahoo in the local language here. It's so surprising. How did the athletic world and stakeholders react to this news? Let's start from that.
Okay. First and foremost, let me make some corrections.
Okay.
I was DG of AFN.
Okay.
I've worked with the CAA, which is the Confederation of African Athletics, Region 2, under Guzo and the Secretary, Bauer.
Okay.
At the world level, we are still believing God that we'll get there. So, having said that, now this news you are talking about came to us as a shock. The whole of the athletics world, especially the stakeholders in athletics Nigeria. It is something that we wish never happened. Unfortunately, with what we have seen so far, it's a little too late to start wishing it didn't happen. So to answer your question directly, it came as a rude shock, and a lot of people are not yet talking about it because they want to get over the shock. They want to get over the shock first. But it's a big blow to Nigeria as a country, not just athletics.
Yes, we were told that the fraud scheme includes online romance, online charity scam, and other types of fraud. We also know that former reigning African Games 100 meters champion Raymond, who is like the future of Nigerian athletics in the short-term sprint. Why do you think they got themselves involved in this? And it's so surprising that they get involved. But what have you heard from those accused? Is there any information you've heard from these athletes that have been accused of this fraud?
I have not heard anything. If you recall, cast your mind back, we still have issues with an election. Our election were not recognized, and so we have officially kept off these issues or trying to contact the athletes directly. So, but I have read the material, the document that was gotten from the court in America. I've read through it. But let me quickly say that on a forum, AFN media platform, where we've been discussing this matter, we raised the issue. I asked the question this morning, what can we do in the current circumstances? What can we do? Not government now, because everything we talk about government. But as individuals, what can we do to salvage the situation? If it is beyond redemption, what can we do to avoid future occurrences? And someone talked about government catching them young and so on, but that's not where I want us to focus on right now. As an individual, what can I do? As Plus Sports TV, what can you do? What can we do for this country? How can we avoid a repeat of such an inglorious event? You see, I think that every adult is responsible for his or her action. Now, why people who have very bright future in their chosen profession will debase themselves to this level, I can't wrap my head around it. Young man who is the current African record holder, who has gone on scholarship to the United States. We all believe they have up-to-date facilities. What would cause this? What kind of temptation? I don't know. I honestly do not know. How they got themselves into it, I do not know. We are trying to walk around. But you see, almost all of them are sending money to a particular account, a particular company. I think it's about time our own security agencies looked into it. Because it's not athletics alone. It is not Raymond. It's not Abire. No. It is a question of Nigeria's country. We must do something that will help us get out of these negative publicities. We are just basking in the euphoria of our hurdles girl, you know, breaking record, Toby Amosu. And we haven't even finished enjoying the perks of it. Now we are dragged down. Out of 6, 5 are Nigerians. What can we need to attack it from personal perspectives as individuals, and then let us see how the government to be done. But don't forget that no matter what facilities the government puts in place, a lot of people may not be enough to exploit those facilities. Today, we have children of parents that are unknown who are doing very well all over the world. And we have children of well-to-do parents who aren't doing any good things. You can't attach any good thing to them. As a person, we need to talk to our children from a very early age. We need to try to bring them up properly. We need to educate them that crime does not pay. The fact that no matter what you do, you will pay for it in life. You play and you pay. You either play first and then you pay later in life, or you pay today. Toby Amosu, she is still paying. That is by working hard, but she has gotten to a point where she can play a little too. So I've talked to my children and I talk to young people. We, our generation, we have failed to bring up our children the way we were brought up. So this is what I think.
Yeah, your thought is in the right direction, because you looked at it beyond the fact that it's about athletics, and I think that's a very good submission. That goes beyond athletics. It goes beyond sport. That it has to do with individuals. But at the end, what do you think the sport ministry can do? Perhaps, do you think there's room for them to reduce appeal on the because this one of especially that of Raymond, who has carried the flag of the continent and Nigeria. What do you think? Is there any room for the sport ministry to do to reduce the term or to appeal this decision? Because they can't be left like that.
There's a lot of room, but we must look at this thing comprehensively. We must look at it dispassionately. As a nation, first and foremost, let's not forget that the sports ministry is Nigeria, so long as sports is concerned. Now, if you tell the sports ministry to go in and appeal, the sports ministry should first and foremost study the whole situation comprehensively. Get people who are experts to study this thing that has happened. Look at the possibility of what can be done in terms of reducing it, but first in terms of making battered beyond what it is at the moment. if your child steals and you go out and say, my child did not steal, then you know that you are putting yourself, your whole family on the spot. And if you say, because my child stole, go and kill him, you are also, it may have been your fault for not bringing up the child the way the child is supposed to grow. So my counsel, my opinion, my advice will be that the sports ministry should get the documents, get our professionals in sports and sports law to study everything that has happened, although this is not a sports matter at all. It's not a sports matter. So when with the Ministry of Justice to see what are these things that have happened, what are the ways that we can attack it. It's not a sports, it's not a 100% sports issue. You know, this is fraud, this is wire fraud, you know, and we must approach it from the proper perspective, which is the justice. For the sports ministry, they can contact the Ministry of Justice and then seek counsel, seek advice. If the ask the experts, ask the people who hold our law, who understand the law, whatever the Ministry of Justice advises them, I would say they should.
Okay, I'm sure we still have him there. Yeah. So,
Yes.
But the sport ministry plays a supervisory role. Do you think they've left these young lads, because considering their age, don't think they've left them so long on their own to the sport ministry might not be playing the overall supervising role on this club, because there are still some of them still in the university and some of them just left and have graduated. Don't you think the sport ministry did not supervise the athletes' welfare and consign enough that they are not consigned to their day-to-day activities, which is supposed to be the case?
Okay. Can I ask you one or two questions?
Okay, sir.
Do you think that the sports ministry neglected Tobi Amosu as a Brume?
No.
What is different? Have they treated Tobi Amosu and Ese Brume in a different manner? Are they biased towards these people?
So you are saying basically that the athletes they themselves are more should be more involved and should know better, even if the sport ministry did not has not been supervising them, that those athletes should know better. Did I get you right?
No, I am not. I'm no longer in the sports ministry. But what I have said is this: I do not believe that the sports ministry picks a few athletes and treats them in a special way.
Okay.
There is what it is to all the athletes that we have, both in and out of the country. They may pay more attention to the people who are out. But however, the treatment that they have been giving to our athletes across, except somebody comes to prove me wrong and say that, okay, XYZ are getting and ABC are not getting the same attention. Otherwise, if we agree that the sports ministry has just only one and they deal with all the athletes across board same way, then if any athlete goes out of it, let us find gone off course.
Okay. Lastly, on this topic, before we go to the next topic, still on athletics, do you think this has put a stain in the very superlative performance of 2022 in the world of athletics? We know that this incident and also the incident of the other lady that have been accused of doping, her name I've forgotten right now, and this is don't you think this has put a stain in the clean sheet of the performance of the Birmingham Games, Tobi Amosu, Ese Brume? So how do you think we should end 2022? A mixed reaction, or still we should still continue enjoying the performance of the Commonwealth Games medalists, or this has put a bad stain for our good performance in the year 2022 in athletics?
This is the way I look at it. this is strictly not an athletics affair.
Okay.
Okay. You pick up, it has two sides. Especially as it affects Nigeria, there must be people who will be putting a stain on the country based on what has happened. And there will be people who will be dispassionate, people who will look at what is happening. Internet fraud, wire fraud, what we call Yahoo Yahoo.
Yes.
Anybody can be involved in. That today, the allegation or the judgment is against individuals first, before they are athletes, before they are members of the athletics family. Okay? Why do you teach the performance of Esebrume and Toby Amosu? Because somebody else who is an athlete has gone to do something outside of the athletics field that turns his name and which is bringing the country to disrepute. For me, these are two different things.
Okay.
Esebrume, Toby Amosu, they are two different individuals. They are not accused of wire fraud. What has happened is that some people have been accused of wire fraud. And if you look at it critically, what has happened is not on the field of athletics. It's their way of life, their personal life, what they have lived and what they have done and what they have been doing, if it is true that they have been doing those things. It was not on the athletics field. It's not a dope case. It's not a cheating case in the cause of their performance. No. It's something about their lifestyle.
Okay.
Okay? It's their lifestyle. If it is wrong, it is wrong. And if they need to be punished, fair enough.
Okay,
well, you notice that what has happened so far has not removed the title of the fastest man in Africa from Raymond.
Okay. He's
still the champion.
Okay. Okay, well said. I think that's a very objective response that to our listeners, that in as much as that has happened, it is not an athletic issue. It is not 100% athletic issue. Though those involved are athletics, but it is not an athletic issue. It's an issue that also the Ministry of Justice and other stakeholders should also look at it. That is more personal to the athletes than athletic in Nigeria as a whole.